to the enslaved African. I guess Ron DeSantis overlooked that part about rape. I guess he overlooked that part about dehumanization. I think he overlooked that part about castration. I think he overlooked that part about being worked to death. I think he overlooked that part about slavery in America being the worst human tragedy in human history. But you know what else he overlooked? The damn truth that our ancestors came to America already equipped with skills. One of the reasons they brought Africans to America is we already knew how to grow cotton. We already knew how to grow tobacco. We already knew how to engage in a lot of the skills that the slave empire required of us. In fact, we learned nothing here except how to hate ourselves. But we taught white folks damn near everything they know. Didn't we invent the cotton gin? Didn't we invent the helicopter? Didn't we discover the internet? Did not we invent the cell phone? What about the self-lubricating engine? What about the gas mask? What about the refrigerated truck? Do you realize more than half of the critical inventions of this world came out of the minds of African people? So white folks kill me when they say, if you don't like it, go home. First of all, white folks, you got to be careful about telling black people to go home, because you don't have a home. Everywhere you are on this planet, you came, stole, robbed, and colonized, including Europe. There is no natural home for the European. If you know of a natural home, please show me, because Europe ain't it. Europe was populated by African people. Its first civilizations were African. The white man is ancient to no place on earth. Be careful about telling people to go home. Brothers and sisters, I want to shift gears a little bit. I want to leave education for a minute, but before I leave education, I want to give all my black parents in Florida 3 pieces of advice for the upcoming school year. Advice number 1. Don't sign any paperwork the school gives you if you don't understand it. Now that's common sense, ain't it, black mother? But some of y'all don't use common sense when you walk into the school. Any paper they put in front of your face, you take it out of ink pen to sign it before you read it. What the hell is wrong with you? You don't sign nothing they give you that you don't read or understand. You could be signing your child's life away and you don't even know it. In fact, you should never sign anything on site. Take it home. Tell them you'll read it over, look it over with your son's father, your son's mother, and you'll return it in a couple days. And if the school tells you, we need this today, you tell them, then I should have had it last week. I don't sign nothing on the spot. If I can't take it home, I'm not signing it. Teach these schools how to treat you. Teach these schools how to treat you. That's number 1. Number 2, learn how to say no to the evaluation. Did you not know you have a right to say no? Did you not know you have a right to refuse the special ed eval? Well, Dr. Umar, the principal told me if I don't get my son tested, he can't come back to school. The principal just broke the law. The only entity in a public or charter school that can expel a child is the school board. Principals cannot expel students. Let me say it again. Principals cannot expel students. Let me say it one more time. Principals cannot expel students. So the next time a principal tells you your son cannot come back, I want you to ask that principal, can you please write that on a piece of paper and sign it with your name and a date. Anytime the school says something illegal to you, ask them to put it on paper, sign it, so you can go call up a lawyer and sue their asses right after you walk out. They will never put it on paper because they know they're not allowed to say that. You better get that boy some medication or he can't come back to this charter school. That's illegal. They can't make you put your child on crack so he can come to school. Tell him, can you put that on paper? Can you put on paper, my son cannot come back unless I give him some Ritalin. And for my parents with children in special ed, they can only be suspended 10 total school days out of 180 school days. I'm gonna say that one more time, because some of y'all looking at me like I'm crazy. What you mean my special ed child with an IEP can only be suspended 10 days? I'm giving you federal law. I'm giving you federal law. It don't matter if you live in Florida, California, Arizona, Minneapolis, or New York. Special ed is a federal program and every state must obey. 10 days of suspension per school year. Well, Dr. Umar, they suspended my son for 20 days already. Uh-oh. That means we could take the Florida Department of Education a due process. We can get your son some money, and we can get your son an approved private school education also. I'm gonna give you my phone number. Take your phone out. This is for parents. If you ever got to call on Dr. Umar and schedule a consultation, I'm here for you. After today, I never again want to hear about a black family in Florida who got some issues with the school or some issues with the mental health system, and you didn't know what to do because you got your own private school psychologist and clinical psychologist. No more excuses and no more being lazy. A lazy parent is like having no parent at all. If a child got a good teacher and a poor parent, he will make it. If a child got a good parent and a poor teacher, he will make it. If a child got a good teacher and a good parent, he has to make it. If a child got a horrible teacher and a horrible parent, he will fail. And I'm not blaming my single mothers for anything. I'm blaming the community. What is the church doing to help our single mothers? What are the fraternities doing to help our single mothers? What are the Masonic lodges doing to help our single mothers? What are the black businesses doing to help our single mothers? Black boy drop out, that is not on his mother alone. Black boy don't graduate high school, that is not on his mother alone. That is on every member of the black community, because in our culture, African culture, children do not belong to their parents. They come through their parents, but they belong to the community. Children belong to the community. Phone number, I'm gonna give it to you 3 times. 215-989-9858. 215-989-9858. Once more, 215-989-9858. This school year, black parents, you're going to do things a little bit different. Your child will have to do homework for an hour every night, whether he got some from the school or not. Your child will have to read a book that did not come from the school, that came from the library or a black bookstore in Florida every day. You're checking homework every day. You're checking in with the teacher every month. And if your child is in special ed and don't need to be in special ed, you're going to write a letter to the principal telling that principal you want an IEP meeting to exit your child from special ed. It's that easy. But some of y'all don't want to take them out of special ed because you're getting an SSI check and you care more about that free money than you do about your child's education. I don't have a problem with a parent getting an SSI check to help with a child who really has a disability. I have a big problem with a parent getting an SSI check for a lazy ass kid disguised as reading disabled and math disabled. Let me ask